another weekend, another racist outburst from our racist president. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Seems impossible now, but there was a time not so long ago when you'd go a whole weekend without hearing a word from the president. That was when we had a president who actually did stuff. Obama wasn't tweeting all day because he was busy reading, holding meetings, or at the very least, working out. I mean, look at that. On top of being president, he was recording instructional fitness videos. That one was called Obaminate Your Abs. I mean, remember? You could just do normal stuff without your phone buzzing constantly because the president said something racist and insane. It used to be when you were in the grocery store and you heard someone say son of a bitch, it was because they were out of paper towels. Now it's because they looked down at their phone and saw the president scream tweet something in all caps like, the bust of Abraham Lincoln is spying on me, not nice. Trump's malignant narcissism won't let him go 5 seconds without being the center of attention. All day, every day, there's Trump on every TV you pass by, sweating, red-faced, fighting with reporters, doing that thing where he points at his head to show everyone he knows where his brain is. The doctors say it looks like a pumpkin that got left on the stoop for too long. This is our life now. Long after he leaves office, his dumb face will be burned into our flat screens even when they're turned off. And on top of that, Trump spends all day searching for ways to blame or attack enemies for literally anything, no matter what it is. For example, on Friday, he was asked if he was planning an extended stay at his Bedminster resort in New Jersey. And in his response, he found a way to take a truly insane swipe at Obama over the air conditioning in the White House.
So I go to Bedminster, which is a beautiful place, but it's never a vacation. It's working.
Are you planning a trip to Bedminster over an extended period of time?
I hope not, because I like working. I'd rather be right here, you know, but probably over a short period of time. A lot of times you go and they do a lot of work in the White House. For instance, the Obama administration worked out a brand new air conditioning system for the West Wing. And it was so good before they did the system. Now that they did the system, it's freezing or hot in here.
Well, maybe it's hot because you're president and this is hell, and maybe it's freezing because when you were elected, hell froze over. Trump has been losing his mind, in part over the various congressional investigations of his corruption because he's a fundamentally lawless president. And one of the Democrats charged with investigating Trump in Congress is Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings. He's the chair of the House Oversight Committee, so it's literally his job to conduct oversight of the administration. For example, Cummings has criticized and held hearings on the cruel and inhumane conditions in border detention centers, which even Trump's own Department of Homeland Security called dangerous in a report released earlier this month. And Cummings has also been investigating the use of private accounts to conduct official business by some of Trump's closest aides and advisors. Cummings is doing his job by investigating Trump and trying to hold this administration accountable. So naturally, Trump responded in the only way he's capable of, with a vile, racist tirade.
President Trump picked another Twitter fight with an African-American lawmaker, calling Representative Elijah Cummings a brutal bully for shouting and screaming at Trump officials testifying before Congress. The border is clean, efficient, and well-run, just very crowded, Mr. Trump tweeted, before disparaging Cummings' West Baltimore district as a disgusting, rat and rodent-infested mess.
So once again, he attacked a Congress member of color by using the word infested, just as he did 2 weeks ago when he told 4 Democratic congresswomen of color, 3 of whom were born here and all of whom are Americans, to go back to the crime-infested places from which they came. Hey, man, the only thing that's infested here is your brain. You know, that one. Yeah. I mean, I'd ask you to apologize to these lawmakers for your racist tirades, but you can't even say the word lawmakers.
He has worked in both houses of Congress, advising lawmakers.
That's right. Law markers, as in, I think Trump has been sniffing law markers. He keeps coming back to this racist trope because he's a racist. It's the core of his ideology. On Fox News Sunday, Trump's acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, tried to defend the tweets, absurdly claiming they had nothing to do with race, but host Chris Wallace wasn't having it.
There is a clear pattern here, Mick. The fact is that before his Before his inauguration, the president tweeted about John Lewis, a black congressman, that he should, and this is before his inauguration, he should spend time in his crime-infested district. Then, 2 weeks ago, he goes after these 4 members of the squad, all women of color, and says they should go back to the crime-infested countries from which they come. Then he talks about Elijah Cummings, and he says his district is rat and rodent infested. Infested. It sounds like vermin. It sounds subhuman. And these are all 6 members of Congress who are people of color.
I think you're spending way too much time reading between the lines.
I'm not reading between the lines. I'm reading the lines.
Yeah, he's just reading the lines. It's obvious. It's not like you need to play clips of him backwards like a Beatles record to hear some sort of secret message admitting he's a racist. Although, I wonder if we tried it.
I am not racist.
The only remedy for a corrupt, racist president is impeachment. Congress needs to use their constitutional power to tell a coherent story about this president's racism, his corruption, and his self-dealing. Congress needs to do their job as
Lawmakers.
This has been A Closer Look.